Hi, this is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Welcome to the South Carolina College Baseball video recap for Saturday, May the 10th. There were 12 games involving state teams played on Saturday, and 10 of those involved NCAA Division I teams. Let's take a look at that Division I action. Down in Conway, Coastal Carolina remained red hot. The Chanticleers beat ULM 4-0 in a game called after 4.5 innings because of rain. Coastal is now on a 15-game winning streak in conference play. They've swept their last 5 Big South Conference series. They're also won their last 11 games overall. Coastal improved to 41-11 overall, 23-4 in the conference. ULM fell to 21-30 and 7-20. Coastal did off of its scoring in the second inning. Blake Barthol led off the inning with a home run, and Colby Thorndike had a 2-run double later in the inning for the Chanticleers. Also Matthew Paltic closed out the game going 3 innings, striking out 4, and of course not allowing any runs. Again, the Chanticleers, 11 straight overall, 15 straight in the Sun Belt. They're doing very well. Over in Clemson, Duke scored 10 unearned runs in the 7th inning and evened its series with Clemson by a score of 15-10 in ACC play. The Tigers had an error with 1 out on what could have been a potential double play ball, but Duke, which had threatened several times before and Clemson was able to escape, Duke made the Tigers pay for that mistake this time. Duke improved to 34-16, 15-11 ACC. They moved into a tie with Clemson. Clemson fell to 38-14 and 15-11. Luke Gaffney had 3 hits and Josh Pano had a 3-run homer for the Tigers. Also, Cam Canarello was 2 for 3 with 3 walks, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Elsewhere, Aiden McCaskey doubled twice and homered to drive in 7 runs as Charleston Southern beat UNC Asheville 21-5 in the completion of a game halted by rain on Saturday. But in Game 2, the Bulldogs held the Buccaneers without a hit until the 7th inning, and still Charleston Southern got a potential tying run on base before losing 6-4. With that split, Charleston Southern is now 26-18 in overall, 12-9 in the Big South. UNC Asheville fell to 15-31 and 8-13. In that second game for the Buccaneers, Chandler Twilpo broke up the no-hitter in the 7th inning. He singled, tripled, scored a run, and drove in a run. Elsewhere, Gage Griggs, Vance Sheehan, and Henry Zener had 2 hits in each game, and USC Upstate swept a doubleheader from Presbyterian to complete a series sweep in Big South Conference play. Upstate is now 30-22 overall, 16-5 in the Big South. PC fell to 17-32 and 9-15. The Blue Hose have lost 10 straight. USC Upstate has scored 10 runs or more in 21 games this season. Not too shabby. Also for Upstate, in Game 1, Preston Lucas was 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored. And in Game 2, Scott Campbell had 2 doubles, 2 stolen bases, 3 runs scored, and an RBI. Up in Greensboro, Will Baumhofer and Ethan Plyler had 3 hits apiece, and College of Charleston College of Charleston clinched a series win over North Carolina A&T in Coastal Athletic Association play. That score was 11-5. Daniel Brooks went the first 6 1/3 innings for the Cougars. He struck out 9, allowed 2 runs. The college improved to 30-19 overall, back over 500 in the CAA at 12-11. NCA&T fell to 15-33 and 9-14. A 6-run 4th inning helped East Tennessee State even its Southern Conference series with Wofford. That final score was 10-6. The Buccaneers, who were in first place in the league, were cruising along with Wofford threatened in the last couple of innings. They got within 4, had some runners on base before East Tennessee State got out of it. For Wofford, Ryan Wynn was 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, a hit by pitch, a run scored, and 2 RBI. With the result, East Tennessee State improved to 36-13 overall, 12-5 in the SoCon. Wofford fell to 29-23 and 6-11. Speaking of the SoCon, Wyatt Stanley had 3 hits and drove in 4 runs, and Western Carolina run-ruled the Citadel 15-2 to clinch a series win in that SoCon series. The Catamounts are now 26-24 overall, 8-9 in the SoCon. Citadel fell to 26-23 and 9-8. For the Bulldogs, Thomas Rollauer had a single, a double, and scored a run. In the only other game involving the state team on Saturday, Radford charged back from a 3-run deficit and clinched a Big South Conference Series win over Winthrop. That score was 16-9. Winthrop had an early lead, but the Highlanders came back. With that result, Radford is now 26-23 overall, 12-8 in the Big South. Winthrop fell to 27-24 and 11-9. The other two games played in the state on Saturday were in the National Junior College Athletic Association's East District Playoff down at Daly Field, in Florence. The two teams, Harford Community College of Maryland and FD Tech, Florence Darlington Tech, are playing for the right to go to the Junior College World Series in a best-of-3 series. Well, Harford won the first game by a score of 3-0, shutting out the Stingers for the first time this season. Jake Zahner had a single and a double for FD Tech in that game. But the Stingers came back in the second game. They overcame an early 1-0 deficit to win 4-1, even up the series, and force a third game on Sunday. Folks at FD Tech are hoping they can play at 11 o'clock. Apparently they're seeing some weather issues down there. So just kind of be flexible. I'll try to keep you updated at PalmettoStateBaseball.com when I hear more. In that second game, Logan Prisco struck out 7 and 6 in the third innings to get the win. Jackson Burton got the save. And the Stingers are now 50-10 overall. Harford fell to 50-9. In the South Atlantic Conference Championship Series, Game 2 today, Catawba beat Lenoir-Rhyne 10-4 to clinch that best-of-3 series 2-0. In the ACC, Boston College beat UMass Lowell 8-3 in an off-conference game. California shut out first-place Florida State 5-0. Grand Canyon beat Stanford in a non-conference game. Notre Dame beat Bowling Green 11-1 in a non-conference game. Pitt came back to beat Wake Forest 10-8. Virginia beat Miami 10-9 with 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth, and Virginia Tech beat Mercer in a non-conference game 2-0. Louisville and Georgia Tech were rained out. They'll play 2 on Sunday, or at least will try to, down in Atlanta. How about the ACC standings through Saturday? Florida State is 15-8. NC State is at 16-9. The Wolfpack and Tar Heels will play their final game of the series on Sunday. North Carolina is in third place at 16-10. Clemson and Duke at 15-11, Georgia Tech at 15-10, Miami and Louisville at 14-11, Virginia is at 13-10, and Wake Forest is at 13-13. How about in the SEC? Oklahoma fell to Kentucky, by a score of 8-5. LSU run-ruled Arkansas 13-7. That's 13-3 in 7 innings. 2 straight wins for the Tigers over the Razorbacks. They had a wild one that ended well after 1 o'clock on Friday night/Saturday morning. Missouri beat Texas A&M for the second straight day. The Tigers are now 2-24 in the SEC after starting 0-24. Anyway, Texas beat Florida 5-2 to even that series. Vanderbilt beat Tennessee 10-6, take a 2-game lead in that 2-1 lead in that series. And Mississippi State and Ole Miss are still playing as of right now. I will get the standings up to date for that after that game ends at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Alabama and Georgia were unable to complete their series on Saturday, so now they're going to try to finish it up on Sunday. Alabama leads Georgia 6-2 in the 5th inning of a game they'll complete, hopefully, from Friday night. Then I'll have a regular scheduled game as soon as that other game is over, trying to get that series in. So far, the SEC has not had any games washed out this year. If they can make it through 9 weeks without having one, that's a pretty good accomplishment. Well, how about Sunday's schedule involving state teams? As I mentioned before, Harford and Florence Darlington Tech will play at 11 o'clock down at Daly Field in Florence. Again, they hope to play at 11. Follow social media to find out for sure. And again, I'll try to update it at the handle Palmetto Base on X when I find out something. Several games were moved up to avoid the possibility of rain, so there's only 5 other games in the state are involving state teams. College of Charleston is playing North Carolina A&T at 1. Duke is at Clemson at 1 o'clock to finish out that series. The Citadel is at Western Carolina at 1. Winthrop is at Radford at 1. And Wofford is at East Tennessee State at 1. One other little tidbit of news, in case you have not heard it. Former South Carolina assistant coach Jim Toman is battling a brain tumor. It was apparently diagnosed sometime recently. He's hoping to get some treatment for that. One of the former Gamecock student assistants, Fox Bayer, is starting a GoFundMe campaign to help Coach Toman and his family deal with the expenses with that. If you feel so led to contribute, I've placed a link to that GoFundMe account on PalmettoStateBaseball.com under the story that says Toman battling cancer. And I've also put a link up for the GoFundMe campaign for our former Spartan Methodist coach, Tim Wallace, who is going through much the same thing. If you feel led to give, I thought it'd make it easier for you to find where it is. For now, thank you for watching this from PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. If your mother's still alive, give her a hug. I wish I could hug mine. Also, since it's Sunday, try to make it to church somewhere if you can. You'll feel better for it. For now, this is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com saying good night. Jesus loves you.